Hello, BookTube, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. I've been working on these books this week. But before I get into those, I've got another book haul of sorts. Now, I know I say this every time I get new books, which is I really shouldn't be getting any new books because I've got a number of unread books already on my shelf, and I'm such a slow reader. Not to mention I've got access to a school library, which means I really shouldn't or don't have to buy my reading material anymore. But I went into a bookstore on Friday and gave into temptation. Actually, the bookstore I went into, if you indulge me on this a little bit, I was in the downtown Ho Chi Minh City area for work on Friday, and after work I thought I'd reward myself by going down to Book Street. Now, Book Street has a couple stalls which have second-hand books, and those can be interesting because you never know what you're going to find there. Usually, if you go to one of the bookstores in Vietnam, they tend to be fairly predictable. They order off of the similar catalogs. They have kind of similar books. But I didn't find anything on Book Street that I wanted, so I thought I'd walk a little bit further down to Walking Street. And by the way, I'll try to remember to link to my videos of these places in the description down below. I've done videos of each of these places. Walked down to Walking Street and went to the Fahasa bookstore there. And I had not been in that bookstore for, I don't know, I think close to a year now. And thought I was going to just kind of see the same old predictable books. But actually, there was a whole bunch of new books there, and there were a lot of books I wanted. And even though I'm a slow reader, maybe some of you other slow readers will identify with this. I was just overcome with the sense of wanting to read everything, or maybe not everything, but half the books there. And I know I'm a slow reader, but I tried, I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I could pick up my pace. Maybe I could read more. Maybe I could get more reading done in my lunch break, stuff like that. The other thing as well is because the English book section in Ho Chi Minh City, certain titles would disappear from the shelves, and then they can be very hard to track down again. So there's a sense of scarcity when you go in there. Like, this book looks really interesting, and I'm not sure I can afford to let it sit here another week. It may not be there, so I'm just going to snatch it up. And in the end, I restrained myself to getting only 2 books, but in the days since then, I'm actually regretting leaving a number of books on the shelves there. I may go back again this coming Friday and see what's still left on the shelves, because I can think of any number of titles maybe I should have snatched up, even though at a certain point it does feel like I'm wasting money buying books I won't read. But for this week, I got 2. One is the Sable Queen. Or is that Quean? From the Redwall series. Now, I actually never read any of the Redwall series, although I've known some people who were really into it. I knew a couple of people in 4th grade who were just really into it. I think these books were really popular right when I was in 4th grade. My brother was really into them. Now, ideally, I would start at book 1, but when you're in Vietnam, you just pick up what you can. And so I thought maybe I'd give the Redwall series a try. I did try it a number of years ago and didn't get into the first book, but maybe I didn't give it a good chance. The other is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now, this one I did actually read in high school. I actually, as a birthday gift one year, I got a collection of, it was like a big volume that had the first like 5 books in the series all bound up together. And I read it and I was really enjoying it, but for whatever reason I didn't finish it. I think after a while I don't know. I just had enough comedy and was ready for something else. But I've always regretted not finishing that series and been meaning to come back to it. And again, this is another thing where ideally I'd like to pick up a collection of the whole series. But that wasn't in my local bookstore, so I thought, well, okay, maybe I'm just overdue to revisit the first book in the series. So, The Hitchhiker's Guide by Douglas Adams. So, both of these are now on my shelves, and we'll see when I ever get around to them. But back to the books I'm reading. I did actually finish off a book this week, How to Teach Listening, and did a video review of that earlier this week. So I'll link to my review of that. But I think I've said everything I want to say about this book. And then now that book was finished, I had space in my reading schedule to get the other book done that I'm supposed to do for professional development this year. These two books were both goals for professional development. This one is Getting Things Done. So I've started that this week, and I'm up to page 28. So still getting started on this. We'll see when I'm all done with this if this book has really been useful or not. It's starting off well. He's talking about how distracted we are by all the things we have to do and how we need a good organizing system. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is there's a lot of setup where he kind of keeps emphasizing how distracted we are in our modern life. And I'm wondering maybe if this book is going to be a lot of padding. Like maybe he's got an organizational system which is going to take like 5 pages to describe, and the rest of the book is just padding extra. But so far it's making a lot of sense to me. He's talking about how when you have stuff on your mind, it's just constantly distracting you. Your all the undone things you have in your life, whether for work or for personal life. And I thought, yeah, that's totally true. That's totally me. And he talks about the importance of getting it out of your mind and onto some sort of organizational system. I do have a to-do list, which has gotten a little bit increasingly sophisticated over the years, where kind of different columns for things to be done today, this week, stuff like that. And I do find that during the times where I'm keeping my to-do list organized, it does seem to relieve some of the stress. Even if I'm not getting more things done, at least I feel like I have more control over my life, which seems to be the same place he's going as well. And then we'll see if his organizational system gives me anything I'm lacking from my current to-do list. But so far, it's making a lot of sense. And then the Behemoth comic book collection here, Marvel Horror Lives Again. I read this week from page 152 to page 258, so just over 100 pages. I'm still in the section on the Wendigo monster, which is mostly not horror, even though this book is supposed to be Marvel horror. It's just kind of a supernatural monster that the Hulk fights. And then it also has the first appearance of Wolverine. Let's see. Did I talk about that last week? No, this is in this week. So this is something I knew about because I looked it up on Wikipedia once ages ago. First appearance of Wolverine was in The Incredible Hulk. And sure enough, here it is. First appearance of Wolverine in The Incredible Hulk way back in the early 70s. So Hulk and the Wolverine together fight Wendigo. And then Hulk and the Wolverine fight. Then there's a black and white interlude here. And this one actually is kind of going for horror, where the Wendigo is like this Arctic monster. And then we get into the X-Men stories, where Wolverine This is now the early 80s, so almost a decade later. But Wolverine is doing a rematch with the Wendigo after flashbacking to his earlier fight. One of the things about this book, because it's a collection of a whole bunch of different stories, is you're getting insights into a whole bunch of different comics. So, you're reading the Hulk comics and you're involved in the Hulk storyline. Then you shift over to the X-Men comics and all of a sudden you're trying to get yourself immersed into the X-Men storyline or caught up with the X-Men. And the writing style also is, well, the art style is different, but the writing style as well. Like the Hulk comics bored me, but the X-Men, and I've never really read any X-Men comics, these seem to be quite well written to me. I mean, a bit talky, as you can see from the word balloons, but well written, interesting. It makes me think I'd want to pick up a X-Men collection at some point. So, anyways, that's where I am here with the Wendigo storyline in Marvel Horror. And then Journey to the West, where I read this week from page 1336 to 1392. So that is chapter 59, 60, and into 61. And this, as it happens, is just all one episode here. So the monk, the monkey, the pig, and Friar Sand, or the Sand Demon, are journeying to the West to get the Buddhist scriptures. And in this episode, they get to this really hot land, which is very unseasonably hot given the time of year. And they find out it's scorching hot because the mountains are always on fire. And then one of the local gods comes and talks to them. And they learn that the mountains are actually on fire because way back in the beginning of the book, when the monkey was going on his rampage up in heaven, he apparently knocked over some of the fire that's been burning the mountains ever since. So that was a little nice tie-in to the beginning of the book. Now there's a local immortal who's got a fan that can be used to control the flames, blow out the flames. And Monkey goes to meet with the immortal, and it turns out that she's the mother of Red Boy, who we encountered earlier in the book, and who after he was a demon who attempted to eat the monk. After battling with Monkey went to get help from the Bodhisattva, the Guanyin, the female Buddha, and she captured him and made him her page. So now this is the mother of the Red Boy, and she's furious with Monkey. Now Monkey tries to convince her that this is actually not a horrible punishment, being the Bodhisattva's page, and in fact he's in a state of bliss now, where he's in this beautiful area, kind of cultivating his soul. But she won't listen, so they have a fight, and she blows him with his fan, and Monkey gets blown away, and he ends up with another local deity, who is also another Bodhisattva. This one is Bodhisattva Lingji, who's been in the book before, in a future episode. So he gives Monkey a couple different pills. One is a pill to withstand the wind from the fan, and then there's another pill. I forget what the other pill was. He gives Monkey a couple things. Monkey goes back, and this time he's got the pill. So the demon, what was the demon's name again? Started with an R. Raksasi. She can't blow him away now because he's got the pill to resist the wind. They fight. She goes back into the cave. Monkey transforms himself into an insect, and when she's drinking tea, gets into her stomach. Then once he's in his stomach, he transforms back into his real self and starts thrashing around in her stomach and giving her pain until she agrees to give him the fan. Then he comes out, but she gives him a fake fan. Now, when Monkey finds out about this, he decides to go to the bull demon. Now, the bull demon's been mentioned a few times before now. When Monkey was fighting Red Boy earlier, they mentioned the bull demon as his father. And Monkey, at that time, said, "Oh, your father and I are old friends." And again, now at this point, when Monkey is fighting Bull Demon's wife, he again says, "We're really sisters-in-law because your husband's like a brother to me." And it was alluding to things from the beginning of the book when Monkey was on his rampage at the very beginning, rampage against heaven. Now, I didn't actually remember the Bull Demon being mentioned, so I Googled him. Found a Wikipedia entry, and sure enough, I guess he was in the beginning of the book. It was one of like the 7 demons that Monkey had formed into this little band of his, which I vaguely remember from the beginning of the book, but certainly didn't remember I vaguely remember the band of demons that Monkey got together. I didn't remember the bull demon specifically. Then while I was there in Wikipedia, Wikipedia said that the bull demon is often portrayed as a main antagonist in this story. Even though he only shows up for like a couple episodes in the book, I guess in a lot of the movie and TV adaptations, the bull demon is made as the main antagonist of the story. So that was an interesting little tidbit. I haven't seen any of the movie or TV adaptations, but the bull demon actually is estranged from his wife in the book. He's taken up with a much younger, prettier, and wealthier creature. I think a fox princess who goes by the name of the Jade Princess. So Monkey goes over there. He frightens the Jade Princess. The bull demon comes out, and Monkey says, "It's me, your old friend." But the bull demon is just so upset about Monkey for a number of things, frightening his new girlfriend, the Jade Princess, and he's also angry about what happened to his son, the Red Boy. Even though Monkey again tries to convince the bull demon that the Red Boy is better off with the Bodhisattva. So they have a fight, and then the Monkey is having a hard time beating the bull demon. But then the bull demon gets an invitation to come drink, to come to a feast and go drinking with another spirit. So he just leaves the fight. Says, "Monkey, we'll continue this later." And he goes into a lake, I believe it is. Is it a lake or a river? And then Monkey follows. Monkey transforms himself into a crab. And I love the underwater scenes in this book. I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for underwater fantasy, just imagining all the underwater creatures. This is one of those episodes that plays to it. So he's at a crab. Monkey's disguising himself as a crab. He goes in there, and there's a description of all the underwater creatures. Where is it? All the underwater creatures at this banquet. Yeah. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry. Trying to find my place here. Oh yeah. So the great whale sang, giant crabs danced, turtles played pipes and drums. And then the monkey disguises himself as a crab and then walks in. And because he walks in so brazenly without announcing himself or asking permission, the dragon whose palace it is, gets really upset and is going to sentence him to death, but the other animals plead for the crab's life. And then Monkey goes and he steals. He leaves the banquet and he steals what is it? The thing that the bull demon was riding on, which was the golden-eyed beast. The golden-eyed beast is what the bull demon rides on. So I guess some sort of horse or something that you can ride on. And Monkey disguises himself as the bull demon and goes back to the bull demon's old wife, Raksasi, disguising himself as the bull demon. And she's really excited to see him because she thought he had completely abandoned her for the younger woman. So she becomes really affectionate and gives him the fan. And then Monkey shows that he's tricked her and he leaves with the fan. Now the bull demon at some point discovers that his golden beast has been stolen, and so he realizes Monkey's been up to something. So he goes back to his wife, and his wife tells him what's happened. So he changes his form into the form of the pig, and goes up to Monkey and says, did you get the fan? And Monkey's showing off the fan, and then shows it to the pig, and then the bull demon changes back to its form and grabs the fan. And then Monkey has to fight the bull demon again. And the pig, Monkey goes back to talk to... No, it was the local god. Sorry, I'm getting all confused with the details. As I frequently find with this book, like so much happens over the course of a few chapters. There's just a lot of back and forth and back and forth. It's a bit difficult to recall at the end of the week. But yeah, it was a local god who told the pig that he should help Monkey. So the pig has gone over, and now the pig and Monkey have been fighting against the bull demon, and they've gone through a couple rounds of fighting. And that's actually the page I'm at now. It says, the three heroes were locked in a melee. Melee. What a battle. Rake and iron cudgel. So rake is the pig's weapon. Iron cudgel is the monkey's weapon. Showing their might. Leading the spirit soldiers to attack the ancient beast. The beast displayed his terrible strength when fighting alone, reviving his powers that rivaled those of heaven. The rake hit hard. The mace struck. The iron cudgel showed its heroic powers. The three weapons rang against each other, blocking and parrying, never giving way. There are a lot of passages like this in the book which give kind of poetic descriptions to these epic fights. And it doesn't really describe the epic fights in kind of blow-by-blow detail. It just says they fought like all day and it was such a fight, stuff like that. So you just have to kind of imagine this epic fight going on. Sorry. And that's as far as I've gotten this week for this. So still in the middle of chapter 61, and still enjoying this book immensely, even though it is a very long book, but very, very glad I'm reading this. All right, so that's all for this week, and I will see you again next week.